Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday morning to you. I hope that your morning is going well. My morning is starting off here. As you can see, I'm chopping up some meat. So what I did this morning is I got up, and I got up kind of early. Just couldn't sleep very well last night, and so I knew we were going to make an Asian dish tonight. So I put a piece of my roast meat, what kind do I get? London broil, into the slow cooker. Remember, I got it, usually I cut it all up before I freeze it. I was not feeling that this time, so I just put the whole thing in there, turn it on high, and let it cook for about 2 hours. This morning I came down and I'm just chopping it up in chunks here for dinner tonight. I just didn't even want to have to cook it over the stove and watch it or anything. And Maxine is right there because she wants some as well. So I did that this morning. Then I'm rinsing out my slow cooker here because I'm going to use it again. The kids have pancake on a stick for breakfast because we pulled those out yesterday. And then into my slow cooker here, I am going to put the ingredients for lentil rice casserole. This is something that we enjoy having. It's in my cookbook. We've been making it for a long time over the years. Very simple to put together. For the lentil casserole, I'm putting 3/4 cup of dried lentils in there, a 1/2 cup of rice. I'm putting just like a teaspoon of dried minced onion, 3 cups of chicken broth. You're going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of basil, oregano, and thyme in there, and I put a teaspoon of garlic in there, and then I'm going to cook it on high for 2 to 3 hours until that liquid is dissolved, or you can put it on low for 4 to 6. This is something we like. It's easy. Everybody likes it. It's enjoyable. We can put it on tortillas and have it. Sometimes kids like it with ranch. I just like it with just plain in a bowl, but we use a sweet chili sauce on it as well. But just a good, easy throw in. Last time I just made one serving of it, and then this time I made 2. And then today is Christmas tree setup day. So we had a huge tree at our mountain house, and it was big. We had a big living room. We had a big living room here, but just the layout is different. And so my girlfriend, it was her mom's tree, and she gave it to me, and I was so thankful for it. And so knew we couldn't bring it here because I just didn't know the setup of the house very well, and I just didn't think it'd be that large. So we went looking for a tree. Now this is going to be just a lot different than our other one, but we went for the slim Christmas tree this year. And the reason why is because we don't have a lot of floor space downstairs that's not used up. As you can see, I'm having a hard time trying to put this tree in there. I'm like, which way does it go? Anyways, right where the tree is at right here, this is like kind of pushed in the wall, so it's going to go this year. But in future years, this is going to have a piece of furniture here. So there isn't a lot of floor space for the tree. And then by the time you put the presents around it, it like takes up your entire living room. So we were like, you know what? We're just going to do something different. You just get used to a little bit different, and that is okay. So we opted for this one. This was on Amazon. I think it was $70. It's supposed to be 7.5 foot tall tree. After looking at it, I'm like, that definitely doesn't seem like 7.5 foot tall tree, but I think it's the little piece at the very top that, you know, you can put your star on. That counts for the 7.5 feet. So what I'm doing, I'm feeling old school here because like my mom had a tree and we had our first Christmas tree, and you had to pull out every single branch on the tree to fluff it. Like anybody else have to do that? I think now I see these viral trees and you literally just, you know, put it on and it falls down and it's like perfect and ready. Okay. Those are good, but you know what? The ornaments don't stay very well on the branches. They kind of droop down. This is old school right here, I'm feeling. So I'm just like feeling very nostalgic right now, going through and fluffing every single branch on this tree. But I'm like, you know what? I'm like, as I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, it's a little bit different. It's way skinnier, but I'm like, but it's going to like hold the ornaments good. It's not going to take up that much space. And then look, it is tilting a little bit. I did just, Jensen actually fixed it for her. We had to like hold it and then tighten the bolt on the bottom, but it works. It's working. I'm like, this is good right here. I was like, all the kids walk down, they're like, oh, the tree. And I'm like, yes, the tree. So, but now that it has lights and stuff on it, after looking at it, we're like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. It's just different. It's definitely different. So I just sat here this morning, just twisted and pull out every single branch on here. After doing this, I was thinking, I wonder if I should have done like the lights at this time and then fluffed them as I was doing the lights. But you know, that's in the future. I can figure out what's going to be the best realm of action to do the tree. And we'll see. And these are one of those things that we can have this down here this year because we had to buy one. I didn't want to spend $400 on a Christmas tree. I think that's crazy. So we thought the other option is we can always get a tree for upstairs, a fuller tree. So maybe after the holiday season, maybe we'll find one on clearance or something and get it and put it upstairs in the living room upstairs, which would be kind of nice because we do hang out up there a lot, and then keep this one for down here. I mean, I could do a bunch of these down here in the corners because we have a lot of tiny corners. I could put one in my kitchen, but that's where my awesome palm tree is. So it just, you know, it's one of those things that It's not going to be bad. It's going to work for this year and what we have. But you know what? And maybe over the next few years, we'll put it somewhere else, or maybe I'll always keep the tiny slim tree. I mean, for me, it's like, it's going to go up easy. It's not going to be huge. It's going to work. So I am just enjoying my time taking this and fluffing it all around. So Brooklyn and I, she was getting ready to go to work here this morning, and I was just like, okay, I got this. I can just get this all fluffed out real quick, and it filled up really, really nice. So not bad for $70 from Amazon, I feel like. And then I pulled out all my Christmas lights here. I did save, I think I had 4 huge strands from our old Christmas tree. So I was thinking, oh, that'll be a gazillion lights. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to make this tree sparkle and shine. So I am going to take these and wrap them around. Now, remember when you, back in the day, I'm sure they still do it, when you went into the department stores, you're like, how do they get their trees so sparkling and shiny? It's because they take the light bulbs, the Christmas bulbs, and they wrap them around the branches like a million times. They would do it like 4 or 5 times on each branch. You'd have this really lit tree. Well, I didn't have that many lights to be able to do it, so I just did it 3 times around each branch. But as I was doing, I was like, kind of smushed the branches. I had to go back and fluff it, but that was my goal. I just went and wrapped around 3 times around every branch, and I had to like do it, and then I did like the 1 strand, and I was like, oh, that just did the bottom. And I'm like, am I gonna have enough lights? Because then I have to go buy more lights for the rest of the tree, because nobody wants to do that. So, but it worked, and I'm like, this is good. And then I'm noticing like my lights are getting a little bit warmer. Like I don't know, maybe this year we'll buy some LED lights or whatever, so that, you know, the lights don't get as warm. It was like that last year too. I was like, well, maybe that's just good old-fashioned Christmas lights. I don't know, but it worked. They stayed lit. I was thankful for it. I think the ones next to me, I stepped down on one of it and broke the bulb on it, so I had to just, but thankfully there was an extra set, like still attached to the cord from, you know, I never took it off. So I'm like, this works. So I'm just going back and forth and just going around wrapping this tree. So today's video is just going to be a little bit different. It was just, you know, it's getting holidays, and I'm filming every day. We moved here, filming every day, not taking a break. And I could take a break, and you know, if I need to, I will. But it's just one of those times where just a quieter week. And I just didn't feel like talking. I feel like just climbing into my house and just staying hidden. Does anybody else feel like that? You just want to stay hidden sometimes? So that's how I was feeling today. And I can't stay hidden because, you know, I have kids and I have life. I have you guys. and I have a tree to put up. So I'm like, but I can just film. I can film, and I can just I can do a voiceover later on. And so that's what I'm doing today. So I got to call my dad today and talk to him for a little bit, and that's good. It's just a harder week. I think it's just a harder week, and it's not even hard. It's not hard, like so depressed and so miserable and all that, but it's just things you think about, and, you know, like just it's going to be different this year, the holidays and stuff like that. And so just thinking more about those things today. And I know the important things to think about. Lovely, pure, and of good report, all those things, but the reality is it's still there, and it still makes you think about things sometimes. So this week I just was feeling a little bit quieter. It's just quieter. And I'm like, you know what? I can do a shorter video, and I can just do a voice over here and just do my tree and keep it easy day for myself. That's what I'm going to do. And so I think you guys understand, those of you gone through loss and, you know, changes in your life over the years. It's like you do understand. So that's how I was feeling today. So I just thought I'm going to put on some Christmas music. That's what I'm doing here. Just doing the tree, wrapping around. It's like 85 degrees outside today. So definitely different. I had to turn the air conditioner down a little bit so we can get some cooler air in the house, because I was like, okay, feeling warm. I was talking to my dad, and he's like, are you going to miss not being freezing cold for putting your Christmas tree up? I'm like, no, Dad, I don't think so. I'm definitely going to enjoy the warm. Yes, I said, I'm going in my pool today, Dad. I said, I can do that. And after I put up my Christmas tree, I said, I will take it. So we had a good laugh about the cold weather versus the warm weather. So I said, well, I see a lot of Michigan license plates, so I know it's cold up there, because I said people are coming down. So this is good. I'm like happy getting this up. I have brought down one of the bins over there, the right of the other Christmas decorations. I didn't want to do them today. I'm keeping my work light. I'm just, you know what, when you need an easier week, you make an easier week. I just put it right here. I'm probably just gonna leave it on the floor here, and maybe over the next few days I'll decorate and do something different, get rid of the fall stuff. But if I don't, that's okay. It can sit on the floor. I'm okay to stare at that if I have to on the floor. But I'm like, they're here. We'll get them up eventually. So we've got, you know, stay busy the next couple days, and I have to do life still. We still have to eat. I still have to take Brooklyn to work and kids and all that stuff, and give myself some, you know, some quiet times too. So if I don't get it done, then that's okay. You know what? Next week it'll be here. So my goal this week was just put the tree up, wrapping around. So this was 4 huge strands of lights. I think they were 100 are they 100 lights? They're the big pack, and I think that's how many it was. So, but it did good. It held up good. The tree is definitely turning. I'm like, why is it tilting on the side of it? And then Jensen came down. He's like, Mom, you just need to go get yourself a lever, like a screwdriver lever, so I could stick it. It's like an eye bolt. And then I held the tree, and then he went down there and he twisted it so we can make it straight. So I didn't get a shot of it yet that's straight, but we did get it nice and straight. So I was thankful for that. And this one right here is just, it was easy wrapping at the top. It was like, because it wasn't like full branches, then I had like a whole bunch left. So I kind of just did randomly around there to get as much as I could around the tree. But it worked, nice and bright, cheery, little Christmas fun to the house. And made everybody came downstairs and they were like, being after the reaction of, it's smaller, but then it's like, oh no, the lights are here, it looks nice. It'll be nice at nighttime too, and it's dark and we can have it on and all that stuff. So the only thing I did not get this year is a star. I don't usually like stars in my tree. I think that's probably my unmost favorite part of the tree. I would like to get like a starfish, like tree topper somewhere, but I haven't seen one that's not, like I've seen some, and they just look very like plasticky and that. So I thought if I ever find a good starfish, maybe I'll put that at the top of the tree, because we're going beachy theme for the tree. That's something we did do. So I'm like, that'll be like maybe in the future, but getting all the strands of lights on here, and this works. It's like it worked out really good. I had 4 strands. I just went down the front and threw the last one here to get around. But I did it. 400, I think it's 100, maybe it's 200. I don't even know. It's a lot of lights. So now we have it, fluff the branches, make sure it looks good. And I'm like, all right, Christmas tree 2023, lights on. So last year we got the little wooden things to go on the bottom to hide the bars and stuff on the bottom of the tree. And so I thought, oh, I'll use that for this tree. Well, I'm not gonna be able to use that on this tree because it's really skinny tree. So I know that they have those little round ones to go around, and I'll get one eventually. I don't need it right now. I thought by the time you start putting presents around it, you don't even need to bother with that. So I have some presents. I don't have a ton. What I did is, I told you that last week, I think it was, I gave the kids index cards and they wrote out a few things down, just a few. It wasn't like their full list. It was just a few things that they can forget about it, and I can get them beforehand and kind of surprise them, because we usually give them a limit and then say, here, there's your limit and whatever you want to get. So these are ones, I think most of them are Autumn and Maddie's, because I got their list done. I did a few for Steven and just a few for Jensen. I think that was it. Yeah, those are the only, just those 4. But there was only a few. There wasn't a ton of stuff. So I just thought, well, I'll wrap those up, because they're kind of sitting in the corner of my office here. And I'm like, every time everybody comes in, they're going to cover it up with a blanket. I'm like, I don't need them seeing all the presents here packed away in the corner. So it worked out. So I'm like, I'm just going to wrap these up real quick. We have so much paper left over. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Did we get any last year? I feel like, I don't even know if I got any last year. I think this is from the year before. I think we had so much paper. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how much wrapping paper does one person need? And so I want to say last year there wasn't any, but I could be completely wrong. I don't even remember. But I know, like, before it moved, I kind of went through and looked at the paper and thought, because I was storing out in my garage in the mountains, and it kind of got muggy. So I didn't, some of the paper that was cheaper, I didn't keep it. It was like thinner, because it got like wet, even though it was in a closed-in thing. So this paper all stayed really nice. So we have a ton of wrapping paper in here, which is good. I'm sure we'll use most of it, keep going. It depends on all the big gifts. The kids are into like smaller things, so I don't think I'm going to have like big giant stuff wrapped up, because they get older, they just want small things. It's not as like the big giant toys anymore, because they're like all teenagers. So I'm just wrapping away here. I'm like laughing because I'm thinking in my head, I can't remember the last time I really wrapped a ton of presents. I did a few years, like I do some, but most of the time I have, like, my girls love wrapping or my kids love wrapping. That's just one thing that I'm usually always really busy. So I'm like, hey, would you like to wrap this? Or hey, would you like to do this? And they love wrapping. So normally I do. So I feel like this is my dedicated morning. It's one of those mornings where I'm like, I just feel like shut my office, and kids were doing their thing. We had a laid back morning. I'm like, if I could just stay in here and just, have some quiet. I was listening to a sermon, and just for, that's what I had in my ear all day, just listening to some encouragement and some words of wisdom, and just wants to keep my focus on, good things that are lovely, pure, and of good report. That's where my mind was today. So it doesn't make it any easier, doesn't make it like, oh, just like a perfect thing and it works out good. No, you still falter, you still think. So it's good to keep those things in your mind, so get that deep within your soul, so that it's you just know and you know and you know, even though it's a tough day. So I am just getting them all wrapped up here. There's the bright red paper. So some might like, we're going to do all the just colors and keep it all nice and themed, but I'm like, we're just going to mix it all up here. And usually I just take one roll, because I like to use up the entire roll. But I'm like, then it's gonna be all one kind on the tree. So I'm trying to go back and forth, wrapping it up and like grabbing different paper for different kid stuff, so they don't just all have the same kind of wrapping paper. And then this year I just put their names on it. We've done over the years where we have chosen different you know, like cookies, Christmas cookies, and I wouldn't tell them what their name was, and then one would say, you know, cutout cookies or gingerbread, or we did movies, or I know you guys over the years have told me different ideas that your family has done, and so you just label all the Christmas presents that way, like even movies. We've done movies too, and then they have no idea. That's usually we do that when the kids kind of know what the presents are. And then, because I feel like they're going to be like, oh yeah, this is my gift, or I know that this is my gift, or whatever. So this way, getting it wrapped like this now and then getting a few more later, I just put their names on them. I love it. My grandma would always just take a magic marker, like a Sharpie, and just write it on the box. Like just write, like whoever was your present, she put Amy across the box. She wouldn't even use labels. I'm like, I feel like grandma was genius on that. It's like, we need one more thing. I got all my labels. I did buy labels last year, I think, at the dollar store, and they stayed good. I wasn't sure if the dollar store would be kind of too cheapy to use, but they actually are really good. They kind of peel. They don't peel off as obviously as well as like Walmart ones would, but they do peel off. They're not like breaking and all that. They're not too thin, so that's a good thing. So I'm just getting them all wrapped up here. Cut. I'm not the straight line cutter. I'm not making them look perfect, but good enough. I'm like, they're going to rip it apart and tear it apart and open them up and throw it into a pile. So, but I was glad to get this little bit done. So what I do with these is be able to put them underneath the Christmas tree, and so they get them out of my office, and then you know, because I'll have more stuff coming, and I can just keep wrapping as they come in, and then it kind of fills around the tree as well. Because, like I said, tree's got all the bars in the bottom. I don't have a tree skirt or anything, and can't do tree skirts because the vacuums always get sucked up on it. So I thought with the presents, at least it can kind of block the vacuum so it doesn't go and get, you know, stuck on the bar of the Christmas tree. So it worked really good, being able to wrap and get everything done here. And the last one I'm doing here is the snack bins. Now I got Maddie and Steven, they picked out their snack bin, and that was the only 2 I took so far, so I was just making sure I had 15 items in there, put it in, and then I didn't realize I didn't have that much tissue paper. For whatever reason, we didn't have a lot of tissue paper, or maybe we used it for packing, so I was like, do I just do that? I'm like, you kind of see the bottom, but I'm like, in reality, they already know it's a snack. And then I thought, well, I can only just do one. So then with Steven's, I'm like, well, let me try to wrap the top part of it at least. So that's what I was doing with his. I just want to make sure I had all his things in here because we had to put some in the cooler so it wouldn't melt. So his, I just kind of wrapped the top down and just taped as best I could, and it worked. It got on there. I'm like, okay. So will I buy tissue paper? Probably not. So I'll probably just wrap the rest of them when I take the rest of the kids and get theirs. But I was glad to get these out from in my office and get them nice under the tree. The worst part was having to carry everything downstairs. We have a lot of stairs. There's a lot of stairs going upstairs. I'm like, it's definitely more than the average. So I was bringing it down in loads. So then I brought it down and just stuck it around the tree here. I'm like, this worked out good. I can keep some in the back. I feel like we'll pull the tree out even more as we get more presents, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I was being careful because I didn't want it to fall over because I knew it was kind of tipping at the top there. And this works, and the kids are like, oh, there's presents already. They were super excited to see some stuff under the tree already. And this is good. Got them all underneath there. And this is lunch, the lentils and rice. I'm starting on dinner here. We're gonna do like an Asian night. So what I'm doing, I had to switch pans because I realized I used the wrong pan. So in the front here, I've got some broccoli, peas and carrots. On the back burner on the left, I've got some rice cooking. And the one I just put some oil in, I am going to put some pot stickers in there. So I put a little bit of oil, and then I put in the pot stickers, and then you put a cup of water, and I like the soy pack. They're not soy packets, whatever, Goya sauce or something in there, but that's how we like doing it. And it cooks, they kind of boil. These are our favorite from Walmart. They don't stick. I love them. I got some from Sam's. They stick. Don't get those. Get the ones from Walmart. So it worked out good. This time just adding some salt to it. This is going to be curry, coconut curry, one of my favorite dishes. And so I'm like, we need to make this tonight. So I'm opening up my chickpeas here. I'm doing chickpeas, broccoli, and peas and carrots to this right here, and I'm just cooking because it's frozen salad. So what you do for this recipe, now I ended up doubling it, so I added a little bit more over time. There's Steven coming with his skateboard, his little rollerblades. He likes having those. loves flying through the house. So for my curry, this is my favorite dish. So what I'm doing right here is I'm getting, this is green curry paste. I ended up using the entire jar in here. So usually it's like 2 tablespoons in there, and I'm adding some curry. It's usually 1 tablespoon of curry. I'm adding more because I got way bigger amounts, and I'm adding 2 cloves of garlic in here, a little bit more, and 2 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce, and then 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon. And then look at, I added way too much. Yeah, I was like, totally failed there. When I went to our little Asian store in North Carolina, that little Asian lady was telling me how to make it. She said, you got that chicken bouillon, you know the chicken bouillon. I'm like, chicken bouillon? So yeah, we do. And then you add a little bit of salt and pepper to it. And then I add a can of coconut cream. I like these ones. They're from Amazon. They're like the blue ones. I think someone said Trader Joe's sells them too. They're just thicker. It's thicker cream. I don't like the watery kind. I don't think it tastes very good. So you just add this in there. It's so simple. So I ended up adding 2 because I knew a bunch of us was going to be eating this today. And then you can add, if it's too spicy, you can add a little bit of sugar to it. So I just mix, heat it up. It's so good. I got this. This is a cross between one of my viewers' recipes and a HelloFresh meal, and this is the way I love having it. So some like it over rice, and I like mine with noodles as well. So I ended up making some ramen noodles to make with mine tonight. So this is delicious. Just mix it, taste it. It's so good. So I've got over here, I decided to turn the water for ramen. In the middle here, I forgot I've got the beef that I cooked this morning. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got that. So I took some sesame seed oil there, and I'm going to end up putting some soy sauce in there and just the beef. And I ended up putting just some spices on it, some garlic and onion, salt and pepper mixture on there. So, and it tastes really good. And I call them steak bites. It's not steak bites. It's London broil bites, but it'll be good to add to the dinner. Just something a little bit, some good protein for those of you that want some meat. I like the meat in there, but not everybody does love that. So just cooking it up here. And then over here, I mean, just that was my steak seasoning. I think it's a Kinder seasoning is what I ended up using, but it tastes really good. So I just use like every single pan here. I'm like, I got a whole lot. Look at Maxine over there snoozing away. She's like sleepy. She was outside with us last night. She kind of got scared and jumped. I don't know if a lizard scared her or nipped her or something, but she's been kind of quiet. So I've just been kind of watching her. She's happy. It doesn't have any marks or anything on her, but she's been real quiet. Maybe she's just tired, extra tired. So I took my pan here, and I got my first batch of pot stickers out, and then I'm putting the next batch. I wasn't sure if I should do 2 or 1. I thought, you know what, I'll have extra for tomorrow. Either way, that'll be good. So we've got those cooking here. And then over in the far right pans, I was going to do ramen. So the front one, when I did the HelloFresh meal, they had like ramen noodles. So I can't find those here because we don't really, and they're like egg noodles basically, and they didn't have any at Walmart. I'm sure they have them somewhere. So I just got ramen packets, and then that's what I'm doing is cooking the ramen packets in here. So I put 3 of them in here. And I figured if I don't use them, somebody use them for regular ramen. Because I think Maddie doesn't like the homemade ramen noodles. They're like real noodles. She likes the fakey version one. So she can have some more of those. And like that works for her. But I've got some of them. Miss Barbara got us that ramen set with everything. So that's what I'm putting in the back pot here. I'm like, it seems like it took forever to let that water boil there. But everything, it cooked real fast. I was done within a half hour, and it's very delicious. I forgot I was making the pot stickers. I'm like, why is that kind of cooking really fast? I'm like, oh, I completely forgot to add water to the pot stickers. I'm like, that's okay. So we just did up dinner. It was easy. It was a good quiet day. I went up today and swam in the pool and got to have a little bit of relaxing time. So it was a good day. It was a good day overall. I was glad to do it the way I did, and give myself a little bit of grace and still be able to get something accomplished, still get our tree up, still wrap presents, and still make a dinner. And you know what, if I didn't want to, I didn't have to either. We can also just chill and have some ramen in a cup and macaroni and cheese or pizza or anything, or chicken nuggets, whatever works. So this was good. Dinner is all done. So here it is. I've got the rice in the back here, and then this is the curry in the front. That's my absolute favorite. So good. And then right here is the ramen noodles. I left some liquid in it. We've got our little, that's the fiery hot one for Miss Barbara, and there's chicken if they want chicken. And then I've got some beef. We've got pot stickers, and then I've got the other ramen noodles up front. So dinner is done.
What are we doing here?
We got some personal safety.
Why did we get those things?
For personal safety.
Well, we've never lived in a neighborhood, but like
that's right, in
a busy area with lots of people and stuff around. So we got some little personal protective equipment, PPE, for the kids, you know. I just invented that. No, actually in the shop we call PPE personal protective equipment, like safety glasses, safety shoes, steel-toe shoes, things like that. So that's what it is. So who wants to be the guinea pig?
Me.
Who would like to come and see?
I'm the guinea pig.
All right. So from, putting it in your hand like you normally would on your left-hand side, that on-off button has to be on in order to have this thing be active, right? Mm-hmm. So start with that. Pick it up and make sure it's armed. So the left-hand side, turn it on.
It's on.
Okay, so you're active. All right. So step number 2, or feature number 2, I should say, is your siren, right? So a dog comes running up at you. You're riding your bike. And here comes a big scary dog. Okay. So that puts like it's a
Yeah, poor puppy.
yeah, I know, but it's better than getting your ankle chewed off, right? Some stray dog or something, or
That dog
an
that barks
alligator.
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, an alligator. Yeah, you'd have to run away from an alligator.
Okay. So yeah, this is like extreme situation. You wouldn't want to go blowing this off just to upset
a Karen.
Wake your brother up.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. But if you listen to it, the way it pulses weird. It makes it very uncomfortable. Do you hear that? Do you hear that like secondary frequency underneath the pulse? I bet you that frequency that it's tuned to is meant to travel pretty far.
I hear
if I had to guess. Features. So you got that right.
Yeah.
So how do you turn the thing on?
Like pepper spray?
What enables the mechanism?
The noise. There's a dog chasing you. What do you do?
Okay, that wasn't what I was at. I was going back to the very beginning.
Oh, well.
Okay, it's just it's in this little carrying case, which is super cool that it came with a carry
So
case.
tiny?
Yeah, it's like a little velvet pouch, which is cool, because it's better than dragging around something like this, I guess. So you take it out of your pouch or whatever, and you're gonna want to save probably the battery, so you're gonna have that in the off state. So all right, you're coming to get it for the first time. You're getting ready to go take a bike ride. What's the first thing you want to do?
Make sure it is.
Okay, and then it's active. It's on.
It's on.
All right. So the first feature we learned about is the alarm.
The alarm.
All right. The second feature is the pepper spray inside. Okay.
Brooklyn.
So they have a protective little cap on top of the nozzle, so you can't accidentally fire it just in its housing. So you have to make a physical move. And that makes you have to make that decision that you want to fire it. Right? Yeah. So and the effective range is what, 10 feet?
10 feet.
Yep, 10 feet on
We should go
this.
try it outside.
All right? So when you do that, that's not only going to fire pepper spray, but is also going to sound the alarm.
The alarm.
Right?
Yes.
It's rechargeable through a USB port, USB-C, kind of the standard nowadays, which is really cool. And then you can pull this guy down, and then there's your pepper spray recharge, and it's got a little pull just like if it was a AA battery or something like that.
Nice.
Go outside and just go ahead and test fire one, so they know kind of roughly how far it shoots. See it? It was like a pencil thin stream.
Oh, it already shot out?
Right out.
Oh.
Here, let me come closer so you can see it. See it? So it's just a nice little pencil thin one, and it's a gel.
Yeah.
Okay?
Joe.
Yeah, so it's not like the aerosol used to be, where you would spray it and it would kind of like make a bomb, and you run that a heavier risk because it's not as dense, so it would disperse and you get it all over you and everywhere else. So
Nice.
very cool. It's like a gel, and it's a super fine point that shoots it out. Are you even recording me right now?
Yeah.
You are not. Look at the camera. Oh, honey, the camera's. She had the camera's aimed at my feet. I'm here talking like.
Real fast.
Trying to be all
Is there
like
jello
cool
over
and
the
stuff.
ground like we're going to have to walk on it?
No, it'll be fine.
Sure, if my feet are on fire.
Just a little bit over there.
Well,
No,
that's
most of
pretty
it went
cool.
into the grass.
Okay,
so.
very cool.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to get some of these, Christmas time.
There you go.
Yeah. We're like